The LA Clippers have had yet again another successful offseason, acquiring John Wall and making this team even better. We all know the star power this team has with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and great bench depth, but how far can this team take it this year, and what is it looking like for the future for the Clippers? Let's find out. But real quick, before we get onto the video, please make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on the bell to stay updated with the NBA. And with all that being said, let's get straight into it. For the Clippers, it's all ultimately going to have to come down to the health and chemistry for this team. Obviously, they have all the stars with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George leading the way, and the recent acquisition of John Wall, who I honestly love the pickup. People can talk all they want and say that John Wall isn't the same player as he was back with the Wizards, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. I have a lot of hope and high hopes and expectations for John Wall, but it's all going to come down to, how much of that juice does he have left in him, and as long as he makes smart moves, he can definitely fit into this team. But obviously, we know the defense that the Clippers can provide right now with John Wall, again, another great one-on-one defensive player. Obviously, Kawhi Leonard, Defensive Player of the Year candidate every single season he plays. Paul George being another player who has really improved on the defensive end, and in general, other players like, Nicholas Batum, who just re-signed with the Clippers, and he had another great season last year, averaging 8.3 points, 4 rebounds, and almost 2 assists per game, while shooting 40% from the three-point land. Now, obviously, Batum is older, but he is definitely still a piece that can help in this year's season. So we obviously know about Kawhi Leonard, who is coming back from an injury and has recently been looking jacked, and I'm excited to see him play again because people forget in the 2020-21 season he was first team All-NBA and played an excellent season, but ultimately just ended up getting injured. So I'm excited to see Kawhi Leonard back. We all know what Paul George can do. He dominated in last year's playoffs. People seem to forget he had the Clippers on his back, but obviously this, only so much that Paul George could have done last year. This team obviously still has Reggie Jackson, who is another guard that you can rely on. Obviously Norman Powell with that championship experience. I really love the pickup of Norman Powell. He's somebody that brings, great explosiveness to your team and can honestly just make the right plays at the right moments. And another player that can do that is Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann is another young guard who I love the way he plays. He's energetic and can provide great minutes off the bench or even if needed as a starter. Obviously, they have Ivica Zubac, who is going to have to play another pivotal role. I believe that he just signed a new contract. So Zubac is another underrated player where he doesn't really get a lot of shine, but he's somebody who's still young, still is growing in his career, but he's a great rebounder and has really improved his finishing around the rim and is somebody to look out for. He's going to have to be a key piece in order for this team to win. Again, defense. Robert Covington, obviously he's somebody who has been on all defensive teams before. Again, another nice pickup, solid pickup. I love Covington's game. He's somebody off-bench player, obviously, who can provide great defensive minutes and drive hard to the paint. And he's a player that's honestly is just going to play hard for you and give you great minutes. The Clippers still have Marcus Morris Sr., who again is another stretch big, who honestly is probably one of the bigger and better stretch bigs in the league, and his shot's been really consistent. And obviously I'm naming off the bench players right now, and you guys can just tell that this is a very deep team, and especially with the new signing of John Wall. John Wall is a player who in his career has historically averaged over 10 assists per game. If he can provide his playmaking ability, especially off the pick and roll, obviously he probably is going to start. I'd assume he's starting. Obviously, we're just going to have to see how the rotations go. He might come off the bench to start off the season. But if John Wall can still provide his playmaking ability, I'm not going to expect him to be the type of player he was in Washington. But he's definitely still going to be able to score, get to his spots. And even if he has about, I'd say, 60% of his athleticism and the boost he had in Washington, that's still going to be enough to get past the NBA defenders at the age he is right now. But I've loved John Wall's play ever since Washington, and he's definitely going to be somewhere to look out for. In all these acquisitions and re-signings, the Clippers have had just one of the better off seasons, and it really seems like they're in the best position right now to win an NBA championship than they have ever been Probably the biggest key factor to the Clippers having success this year is going to be the chemistry and if everybody can stay healthy. Obviously, another big concern for this Clippers team is how injury plagued everybody has been. Obviously, Paul George, Kawhi, John Wall, just to name a few off the top of my head. But if everyone can stay healthy, the only concern for people should be the chemistry. How fast can everybody get together and know their role? You know, this is a situation where everyone's going to have to buy into the role. Whether John Wall likes it or not, he might have to come off the bench to start off the season. Who knows, maybe he turns into this absolute monster and they're forced to put him in the starting lineup. But for now, John Wall has to know his role. Terrence Mann has to know his role. Everybody has to play their role. And the biggest thing is defense. This is probably the most stacked defensive team in the league right now, but it shouldn't be a problem, man. This is a deep team. They have good defense, and if everyone stays healthy, I expect big things from them. But hey, I'm just a YouTuber who talks about the NBA, so let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think the biggest keys to successes are for this team to win the championship next year? But this is going to end off the video. Honestly, I can't thank you guys enough for the support you have shown me. It seems like every video is getting over 1,000 views, so honestly, you guys always drop likes and drop comments, so just thank you. That's all I have to say, man. Like, the support has been unreal. So the season is starting to come up, and we're just going to keep vamping up these videos and making better quality and better research based videos. So if you guys are up for that, please make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on the bell, and make sure to comment. I always reply to the comments. I want to argue with you guys, obviously not argue too much, but I just definitely want to create some healthy debates in the comment section for everyone to, you know, have a space to talk about the league and our favorite players and situations going on right now. So if you would like to drop a comment, please do so. And with all that being said, I'm out. Peace.